Okay, I think there's some problem for her audio over there. No. Okay, Padma, we can't hear you. I think you need to rejoin the audio. Can you give it a try? Disconnect and rejoin audio. Okay, she will come back. In the meantime, let's move on to our president. Toastmaster Nitesh, what's your definition of independence?
So I'll take it forward from where Dixon mentioned.
Mhm.
Independence right now from last few years, again, it might change. For me is having financial freedom.
Okay.
Why? The reason is that I feel that if you are free from this burden of finances, then you can do a lot of creative things. And that is what needed, especially in the context of countries like India. And that's where my focus is right now from last couple of years.
Okay.
Not just for myself, but also to educate and aware people of this financial freedom. So, yep, that's my definition.
I wish majority of us have the intelligence of thinking for the future like how you do. Me especially. Toastmaster Naga Mahesh, your definition, sir, of independence.
Hi, Manoj. Hi, everyone. Um, my definition is be law-abiding citizen of our country, doing anything good for us, for our betterment, and doing good for our country. But in simple terms, for suppose if I have a home loan, if I took a home loan by purchasing an apartment, and if I clear it, I will get independent. I will get independence from the bank which I took the loan. Kind of way, I think, but in general, being a law citizen, doing anything good for our family, for our society, for our country.
Okay. Toastmaster Mani, your definition.
You're asking me?
Yeah, you're the only one with the name Mani in this audience today.
Yeah. So it's all about mindset. Independence is all about. So if we are not doing something, look, we obviously wanted to do so many things. If anybody is telling like you can't do that, so I suddenly like my voice says, no, I want this independence of doing these things. Why you are stopping me? Why you are telling me something like this? I can't do it. So it's all about mindset. Like whatever we want to achieve, that we have to achieve some other way. Nobody should suppress my feelings or my thoughts, how I am going to present it. But all and with those things, we have to be more focused on how that is going to affect with others, like everybody around us and all. It should not impact anyone. And with those responsibilities, I should able to achieve. That is independence.
Okay, thank you. So now let's move on to the second speech of the day. Can I have the evaluator of the second speech today available to read out the objectives? This is also a icebreaker speech.
Sure. So good morning, everyone. I'm Trilok. I'll be the evaluator for the second speaker, who is attempting an icebreaker speech, as GTM Manoj said, and his pathway is innovative planning. The purpose of the speech is for the member to introduce themselves to the club and learn basic structure of public speaking. Over to you, GTM Manoj.
Thank you, Toastmaster Trilok. Now, about our speaker. A young man, an architect. He's got his license yet, I'm not sure. But yes, an architect and a guy who will probably define some beautiful buildings into our city as he works along into his career is how I envision our next speaker. When I asked him about what's his definition of independence, what he said is he likes to think creatively based on the circumstances which are there at his disposal or where he is at that point in time. And to quote him currently, his current definition of independence is to stay away from procrastination, as he's realized like independence by repeatability of his assignments is something which he wants to get away from. With that, I introduce Toastmaster Srinivas Sondur, our Toastmaster Vaibhavi's younger brother, by the way. Over to Toastmaster Sondur. And the title of your speech, I mean, I don't know if I got it wrong, but you did not give me the speech title. So could you just announce it, please?
Right. The title of the speech is my introduction towards my journey of architecture.
Okay, fantastic.
Right.
All yours.
Right. How many of you know someone in your inner circle who is an engineer, by the way?
I have plenty.
All right. And how many of you do know someone who is a doctor, maybe?
Again, I have 3.
Right. So, and how many would raise your hands if you would know someone who is a content creator, like a full-time YouTuber?
There is one in the audience. She'll be back.
Not many, but and how many would say that you know someone who is an architect in
I
your
have 3 in my class.
right, but not many again. So, well, I bet from now on you all would be able to say that you know someone who is an architect and he's a good friend of yours. As I'm here to discuss about to tell you about my journey of pursuing architecture, which was definitely of not roses and thorns, but it was full of fun. Since childhood, as I would play around with the Lego blocks, and of course, definitely my mom asking me, scolding me for getting those Lego blocks all around the house. But I would start imagining how the building influenced the people and their environment, and how it would improve the mood and dynamics of the people around them. So, since childhood, artistic and creative thinking was something um, of my cup of tea, but also to have an impact on the world was I was looking at. But as you all know, our Indian parents, creative and artistic field of choice for your career? Definitely no. Engineer or medical field? Definitely yes. So in my class 11th and 12th, I started preparing for engineering competitive exams. And I tried hard to study PCM, physics, chemistry, maths. But deep down, I felt that something was missing. The subjects were too dry and too abstract for me to understand the concepts in depth and think creatively in them. And my personality was kind of getting lost in between, and I was feeling that I could not express my creativity to the core. But then I started preparing for my JEE entrance exam, that is the entrance exam for engineering colleges in India. And then I got to know that there were 2 papers, paper 1 and paper 2. So paper 1 was for engineering colleges in India, and paper 2 for architecture related colleges. After searching quite thoroughly, I got to know that paper 2 had questions of drawing, aptitude, and general reasoning related to architecture. But I was not quite sure about architecture since I had no background in the same. So I thought of applying for both the papers, thinking that paper 2 would be the practice test for math section of paper 1. So that's how I started preparing for both the exams. And I reluctantly went to the market. I searched for the book and I got one. And did I mention that this was all just 2 months before the exam? Yes. So I had never studied about art, but once I started preparing for the same, whenever I got time, I opened the book, I searched through the pages, and I got a real feeling of enthusiasm and excitement within myself. The curiosity that appreciated the beauty and logic of architecture. I started reading the book and in my free times, and it was not easy. The questions were the questions and concepts were quite unrelatable, unfamiliar to me, and concepts like proportion, scale, harmony, balance, rhythm, symmetry, etc. These were a whole new kind of language for me, and it was a different culture that I was getting into. But the day of exam came in. I was preparing for both the exams simultaneously, and what happened was I was definitely confident for my paper 1, but my paper 2 was a little bit shaky by that time. But the results came out, and guess what? my engineering ranking was not as good as I would say in a speech of like this, but my architecture ranking was of rank 52 in the state. So I secured this rank and I got into one of the good colleges in India. And I thought this was a sign from the universe. This was my destiny. So I started to follow my heart, to follow my passion, and to pursue architecture as my career. That's how, my friends, I became an architect. It was not a planned or predictable journey, of course, but it was serendipitous and adventurous one. The journey taught me to be more open-minded and flexible, to explore new possibilities and opportunities and to trust my instincts and to follow my passion and never give up on my dreams. That's all from my side.
Excellent, Srinivas. And for me to believe that you're a first timer, it's a little hard. But where you disappointed me was when you said you went to buy the book 2 months in advance. I would have gone 2 weeks in advance. So that's a hard reality of being engineers. We can't help it. Though your sister's present over there, the studious one in the class. Still, I'm with you on that. Let's move on to the meeting now. We have the second part of our meeting coming up, which is the table topic session. And I will ask Toastmaster. Sorry. I'll ask Toastmaster Tanuja to take over as she's our table topics master for the day. Over to Toastmaster Tanuja.
Thank you. Thank you, TMOD. What happens to, and this question is particularly directed to the ladies in the room today. When you ask your family members, kya banaye, what to cook? What is the answer you get usually? Anything specific?
Kuch bhi.
Kuch bhi.
Whatever.
Anything. But does that improve your picture? No, you are more confused. Now picture this. If you ask your family members, biryani or bisi bele bhat, and you'll get a clear answer. Either it could be biryani or bisi bele bhat, depending on their choice. Similarly, I am going to give you the topics with the independence to choose out of the two options that I give you. Right? It is quite easy. It is going to be fun at the same time. Are you all ready? Yes. So, who wants to take this up first? Vaibhavi. Vaibhavi, I'll definitely give you a chance, but later I want someone who's without a role to take this up. Anyone, or should I pick?
I think Toastmasters Padma is raising her hand.
Padma, I can't see her. Has she dropped out?
No,
she did.
she's-
Oh, yes, Padma, you're here.
Hi.
Hi, Padma. Padma, would you like to go first?
Absolutely. Sorry,
Okay.
I couldn't introduce myself before. So here I am.
Yes, Padma. Nice to see you. And even on your video. Good to see you. So, what would you prefer? Now, here's the question of preference. So, what would you prefer, a grammarian or an R counter?
A grammarian?
Okay, go ahead and explain why.
Okay. Good morning, everybody. I have joined this meeting a little after 2 years. So what I would like to pick, the first thing is grammarian. I'll tell you why. 20 years back, when I joined corporate world, I was moved from one team to the other because I did not perform well. When I say perform well, I was in a technology team, and I had 6 DSAT in a row, which brought my entire team score to the bottom. But I was a pampered one. I was the youngest in the team. My managers and my TSS basically a expert, technical support expert. That's what a TSS means. He comes to me and have a word with me. Okay, Padma, why do you think you've got these many DSATs? I said, I don't know technology. Okay. And he spoke to me for a while. And then he said, you know, what is the best option we could do for you? Why don't you move to customer care? Your communication is good. You can tell what you want to tell, just that on a technical call, you're not able to articulate things. So why can't you move to customer care is what was mentioned to me. At that point of time, I started wondering, now, is he telling me that I need to let go of the organization, or is he really going to give me an option to move into customer care? And I was in doubt if my English was good as well. Thinking about all of it, I was given an interview in customer care. And one thing which was told to me is never tell them you want to move from technical support to customer care because you got DSAT. And I happily said, yes, I'm going to do that. And I go for the interview. And he asked me, why would you want to move to customer care? I said, my communication is good, and hence I want to move to customer care. Communication is good. You can implement the same in technology as well, isn't it? I was like, okay. But I blurted out telling that in customer care, I may not get DSAT because I can play on my skills. So accountant or grammarian, I think I will fit the grammarian better. I still have to learn the accountant art. Back to you, table topic master. Thank you.
Great. Padma, very well explained why you would be preferring to take up the grammarian's role. Next, who would like to go? Veena, would you like to take it up?
Yes, ma'am. Yeah, sure.
Yes, Veena. So for you, it is a choice between getting up late or getting up early. What would you prefer?
Thank you, ma'am. I would like to go with an option getting up early. So getting up early gives us more comfort, and we can plan. We can work as per the plan. When I say getting up late, the things will get messy. I'll be too much hurrying things to get over, so that will evolve in a less quality work. So I would better go with the get up early and do the quality work and as per the plan. Thank you.
Thanks, Veena, for sharing your preference. Next, Saurav, would you take it up, the next topic? Saurav.
Yeah.
Saurav, so for you, it is tomato ketchup or nariyal chutney?
For me, it's both, and it depends on my mood. Sometimes, someday, tomato ketchup is definitely not healthy, and tomatoes are, as you know, are really costly. We in my house, we have been trying to replace tomatoes with tomato ketchup and few other things, but it's not healthy for us. But at the same time, sometimes you like to have something spicy, you go for tomato ketchup. But nariyal chutney again is a healthy option, even though we don't, in our family, we don't prefer, but since it is healthy, sometimes we go for nariyal chutney. And definitely over time, being in Bangalore, have developed a liking for it. So for me, again, it's both depending on my mood or my condition of my health. I would go for both, either tomato ketchup or nariyal chutney. Over to you, Toastmaster, table topic master.
Thanks, Saurav, and also depending on the market scenario.
Yeah.
This is also. Okay. I would like someone from the audience to take it up. Audience means non-Toastmaster. Who is a non-Toastmaster here? Pooja? Hello.
Hi,
Pooja. Shall I give you a topic?
yeah, am I audible now?
Pooja.
Technical difficulties. Okay, let's go ahead.
So for you, it is the preference between setting up the table before dinner or cleaning up after dinner?
Interesting.
What
Thanks.
would you choose to do?
Yes. So this topic comes from the thought process of, do I plan before and do I also clean up after myself? For me, both are valid. I do like to plan things beforehand, and when I have my dinner, I like to have everything in place so that what I want to choose, I can do it. But at the same time, I like spontaneity, and I want to start when just preparing the food and start eating on. And meanwhile, I remember, okay, I need papad. I go get up and get the papad as well. So it's a bit mix of spontaneity versus planning up. Cleaning after ourselves, it's something as an afterthought has been in India at least, that, okay, you are done, you finish with your job and you move on to another job. But while growing up, I learned this, the more you clean up after yourself, the more your mind is ready to plan for the next thing very clearly, and also be able to enjoy when you go into spontaneity. The more cleaning up you do, the less messier it gets, and it helps in the thought process for the next task. So with that, I would leave it. I would end this topic with, both are necessary. Choose the tool at the right place with right mindset. Thank you, Toastmaster Tanuja.
Good. So Pooja, for you, the cleaning up process spurs your ideas, okay? And you're able to think better.
Yeah.
Next, okay, Vaibhavi, are you ready? Something interesting for you. If given a choice between unlimited food and unlimited clothes, what will you choose? Unlimited food or unlimited clothes?
Food has shelf life. Clothes you can wear all your life. Dear Toastmasters and guests, this choice for a girl, for a female, with an additional label of being foodie, unlimited clothes or unlimited food, is like asking, do you want to breathe in oxygen or leave out carbon dioxide? How can I make a choice? Of course, I need an oxygen to abnegate all the diseases as well. I need to give out carbon dioxide so that the plants, poor thing, will get something to breathe in. Well, jokes apart. With the perk of having unlimited clothes, I can flaunt all in the city with the brightest of the colors, with the best of the confidence, saying, I am the princess, having all the collections, all the latest designs right here to showcase. However, with unlimited food, I give a big fortune to my health. I'll have salads. I'll have rice, which is my favorite, which instantly pumps up my mood. I'll have all the vegetables in front of me, which will make up those days where I've starved. I want to eat, but I don't have time to make. It's it is indeed a tough choice, table topic master, to choose whether I will go for unlimited clothes or unlimited food. But deep down my heart, I have this strong feeling that if I go with the one that has no shelf life, that is unlimited clothes, I'll thank myself, because my cupboard will no more ask for what will I wear than my stomach, which will ask for, oh, give me something. Please agree with me, table topic master.
Thank you. Definitely agree with you. You have to breathe in oxygen and give out carbon dioxide as well. Do I have time for another topic? A last one? Timer? May I? Okay, I'll go ahead with that. Abhishek, would you like to take up this topic? It's very easy.
Yeah, sure.
Okay, so what would you choose, or what would you abnegate if you were given a choice between tea or coffee?
Yeah, so I think it's not very complicated. So I would go for tea because, yeah, being in Indian lifestyle, I used to consume more tea and rather more familiar. But on the other hand, on certain occasion and to change my taste buds, yeah, I would like to prefer coffee as well. Yeah, so mm, thinking of the aromas that tea present and it remind of Indian culture and like it when it comes on tongue buds, then definitely it throughout some memory of our past, uh, like what we had. eh, It reflects the memories. So tea is more familiar and more closer than coffee. So I'd go for tea. Thanks.
Thank you, Abhishek. Very well put.
Yeah.
Your choice. You've put forward your choice beautifully. Aromas and memories associated with that. Thank you. With this, I hand over the stage back to the virtual stage back to the TMOD, Manoj.
Thank you, Toastmaster Tanuja. A very refreshing session is how I'll put it. Very nice thought of to make a choice between two things. Very well executed session. Now, with this, we come to the end of the second round of the meeting, and now we'll move on to the third and the most important part of it, wherein the truths have to be laid bare. So I will ask our general evaluator for the meeting, Toastmaster Nayantara, to take over.
Thank you, DTM Manoj, and hi everyone. Let's get started with the speech evaluations. So can we have Toastmaster Dixon to evaluate Toastmaster Monali?
Thank you, Toastmaster Nayantara. Congratulations to Toastmaster Monali for a fast step as a Toastmaster and for an exciting journey. When I look into your speech, you start in one word. If I want to talk about to introduce the speech, is just like awesome, superb, because you start your speech with a question. You try to engage the audience. Moreover, actually you were a little bit nervous in the beginning of the speech. Then within 5-10 seconds, you got the track and you start talking very confidently, even though it's your icebreaker speech. That was the one important positive part which I understood from your speech itself. You are so confident, you are so calm and quiet, and you are trying to keep a connection with the audience throughout the speech. I think you prepared the speech for your in-person meeting, right? Probably. Because that I can feel, because if you are in-person meeting, I think it would have been that big, greater one, actually speaking, compared to the online itself. Because with the limited infrastructure, we can find out the difficulties. It's not a big deal anyway. The one thing which I would like to tell before you going forward, your timing is from 4 to 6 minutes. So you took just 4 minutes for your speech. So you have 2 more minutes to complete. So this is your golden opportunity to talk about you in front of your club members and to try to come out from the fear. So next time when you give a speech, try to keep the time and try to utilize the time, maximize up to the maximum level. That will help you to give more clarity on your speeches. Moreover, everything is fine. You are very clear. And again, good luck for your future speeches. Over to you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Dixon, and great evaluation there. That was quick and touched on all the right points. I agree with everything that you said. And a quick note to Toastmaster Monali, I think nothing succeeds like talking about failure. That was a great way to instantly get the audience to relate to you. So, very cool icebreaker. I loved it, and I agree with Toastmaster Dixon. We wanted more. So, try to use more of the time allotted to you. Now it's time for our second speech evaluation. So Toastmaster Trilok, could we have the evaluation for Toastmaster Srinivas's icebreaker? Thank you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Nandana. Toastmaster Srinivas's speech to me did not look like an icebreaker, his first speech. It was done really, really well. That is my one-line summary for that. It had all the necessary constructs which we expect from a good speech, starting from the introduction where he tried to engage the audience, even though it was online, using questions that people could relate to and people were comfortable answering them. Then continued with the body. The body was well presented with a note on what the aspirations of the Toastmaster himself were, how the society affected that, how did he overcome that, and then how did he succeed. So the sequence was, I think, almost perfect. Same is with the conclusion that he was able to tie together the introduction, the body, and the message that he wanted to convey in a short, summarized view. So this was wonderful. He used, Toastmaster Srinivas, he used imagery and stories which were quite to the point, and use of specific words, for example, using harmony, rhythm together in something which is describing architecture was an interesting use, is what I felt. Your choices of words, again, I think it would be grammarian who would be describing this more, but you were able to fit these descriptive, colorful, vivid words in your story, which made it even more attractive, I'd say, or kept the attention of the audience in place. And although it was an online format, you had all the right constructs for the body language in place, that your smile and confidence, the assertion, it was mind blowing all throughout the meeting. Although the space was limited, your hand gestures were almost, so you used all the hand gestures that could have been made use of during the speech itself. So overall, to me, this was a very well, it was a very well speech, both with respect to content, delivery, and the communication of the message that you wanted to have communicated in the first place. Now, because your speech was so great and you were a great speaker over here, I would like to challenge you on one aspect, that this this dichotomy of engineering being not being an aspiration of a individual themselves, but a pressure from the parents and society. Maybe the next time try a new creative construct so that it does not appear to be a cliched comparison, but that's a very small aside. Overall, a really great speech. Thank you so much for that. Over to you,
Thank you.
Toastmaster.
Thank you, Toastmaster Trilok. I really enjoyed your evaluation. That was a very good deconstruction of the speech, a really thorough evaluation, and I believe you are a logophile. You enjoy a good vocabulary. So, just one recommendation that I have, when you are an evaluator, I think it helps at the outset of delivering your evaluation that you're going to address both the speaker as well as the audience. So I think for most of your evaluation, you were speaking in third person, which might make your target speaker feel a little left out. So I would, start with greeting the speaker and also including the audience. It's a tricky balance. However, you did switch to you later on through your evaluation. So I'd encourage you to kind of have a good mix of those. But
Okay, thank you.
otherwise, I really love the evaluation. Thank you so much. Now it's time for our timer report. So if we can have Toastmaster Dixon back to tell us the timings.
Hi everyone again. For prepared speeches, Monali took 4 minutes. Toastmaster Srinivas took 5 minutes 40 seconds. For the table topics, Toastmaster Padma took 2 minutes 40 seconds. Toastmaster Veena took 30 seconds. Toastmaster Saurav took 58 seconds. Toastmaster Pooja took 1 minute 42 seconds. Toastmaster YY took 2 minutes 5 seconds, and Toastmaster Abhishek is 1 minute 5 seconds. For evaluators, Toastmaster Dixon took 1 minute 55 seconds, and Toastmaster Trilok took 3 minutes. Over to you. Thank you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Dixon. Just a quick tip. I know that you are all more used to offline meetings. However, when you're in an online meeting, maybe keep your hand raised. So that what happens is then your frame comes first in the lineup and everyone can see the timer card. So we'll all be alerted as to where the speaker is. So, otherwise, thank you for the great job done. Toastmaster Vaibhavi, could we have the R counter report?
Thank you very much, Madam General Evaluator Nayantara. I'm here with my report. We did not have too many crutch words or R counter. As R counter, I did not have much job to do. However, only a few people like in prepared speech, Toastmaster Srinivas Sundur used R and kind of a few times, which can be avoided. In table topics, Toastmaster Padma Mohan could have replaced I was like with I said. Again, Toastmaster Abhishek Singh in table topic section, you can avoid using short pauses. Distinguished Toastmaster Manoj Nair, the Toastmaster of the day, you can minimize this phrase of this is how I put it to better your speech. This is my R counter report. Back to you, Madam General Evaluator.
One of the most valuable R counter reports I ever heard. Great job, Vaibhavi. And finally, let's have the grammarian, Muskan. If you can share your report, please.
Yeah, I just want to confirm if I'm audible.
Yeah, you are.
All right, okay. So I have a lot of points, and only a few of them are grammatical errors. There was just a very rich vocabulary used throughout the meeting today, and I feel really happy announcing all of this. So first of all, I'll begin with the grammatical errors so that we can get done with that. So first of all, someone said example, it's an example. Similarly, when you said aerospace engineer, it's an aerospace engineer. So vowel is something that you need to take care of. After that, it took me from everything becomes it took everything from me. After that, aware people, to make people aware. Something of my cup of tea, instead of saying that, which sounds really confusing, you could say dash, whatever you were saying, dash wasn't something that would be my cup of tea, or simply say dash wasn't my cup of tea. After that, have a word with me, had a word with me. It's because what you were referring to at that time was in the past tense, so you say had a word with me. After that, even though the word abnegate was used 3 times, which is amazing, the word abnegate was meant to be you're denying something that was positive. So when you're saying abnegate all the diseases, that becomes you're denying something that is undesirable. So you cannot use that word in that sense. So instead use abnegation of something positive. After that, one second. Yeah, last thing, when you someone said you were trying to keep connection with the audience throughout the speech, this whole sentence becomes really long and wordy. So instead of that, you can say throughout the speech, you tried to maintain a connection with the audience. If the person was successful in doing that, you can just say throughout the speech, you succeeded in maintaining a connection with the audience. So that is the other. Now moving on to the good usage, I let life take the lead. My dream had actually become a reality. Roller coaster of life. Independence is all about mindset. Express my creativity to the core. The logic of architecture. I feel like this stood out the most because I felt like I could imagine geometrical shapes sort of coming together. But I know it's very cliche to say that because it's architecture. But I felt like that just had a lot of imagery encapsulated in that one thing. So the logic of architecture had a lot of imagery. After that, there were all of these sentences which would have been right with some other words also, but just the way they'd been put was very appropriate and very accurate. For example, I secured this rank, consume more tea, utilize time, trust my instincts. After that, there were certain words which were used: rhythm, harmony, serendipitous, deconstruction, aroma, logophile, constructs, assertion, dichotomy. I felt like these words were really good. And one-line summary is another word that I was. So, and last thing, sorry. Someone said feel left out. Instead of that, you can say they would feel alienated. That is the other word to say for that. So that would be for my report. Thank you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Muska. I think you just got a job. Check the chat. So very happy to see this kind of thoroughness. Kudos on this great quality report. Loved it. Still have a couple of suggestions for you. While I'm also a logophile, I love big words, and I just learned a new one from you today. However, I'm still in mixed minds that whether this is an everyday word. So I feel that the function of the grammarian is to introduce good words, but words that are still usable in everyday life and work. So while we all must have understood abnegate today, and good job on pointing out where it wasn't used properly, that's also your job as a grammarian. I somehow don't see people bringing it up in their daily conversations because the other guy won't understand. So I would encourage usage of other words which are kind of not so well known, but still simple enough to fit into everyday usage. That's my take on it. And secondly, to encourage people to use it, this is a trick I saw in some meetings. Either have it on your background. So you can have Abnegate on your background and share a virtual background. You can put it in the chat, or you can rename in your name itself. You can put your word of the day. So it's just a constant reminder for people to use it when they're speaking. But thank you for that amazing report. You just made my day. So I think we're done with all the team reports. Thank you so much. It really takes a lot to listen that hard and put it all together in a comprehensive report. So here is my report on everything else. So firstly, the SAA, Veena, great job in, reading out the rules and the mission of the club. That sets the right tone right at the beginning of the meeting. I would encourage you, perhaps you didn't have bandwidth or you're not in a good place, but having the SAA visible would be a really high note for everyone and help you to set that high energy note for everybody. So where possible, come on video. And the second one is, it would be good to greet members and guests as they join. So I believe that the SAA should be the first one in the room, virtual or, in person. You may not have been able to join on time today, but again, a tip from different clubs that I've seen in Canada, they have this role called the greeter. So somebody takes up that role, joins the meeting early, and talks to everyone before the meeting starts to engage them. And I think this is important in online, otherwise you just see a bunch of black squares and that's not very engaging. On to the President Nitesh, amazing commitment to join from the road. You could just easily have begged off, but I really applaud that kind of dedication. Good job. And starting with a story to set the theme, amazing. One recommendation I have is either you or the Toastmaster of the day should probably introduce guests or ask guests to introduce themselves. That would make guests feel welcome and included. I don't know how you do it in your meetings, whether you have it later on in the meeting, but this is a best practice I've seen in most clubs. Moving on to the TMOD, DTM Manoj, great engagement with the audience.
Thank you.
So many questions. And what I loved is that you kept the theme alive throughout. In between speeches, you kept going back to the theme and asking people opinions. So very inclusive, very engaging. I love that. A couple of recommendations. For most of the responses from people, I noticed that you just immediately moved on to the next person. It would be helpful if you quickly summarize or appreciated, or you can even disagree with whatever that person responded with. So it makes it feel more like a conversation and less, not an interview, but I think that would be helpful. And for the evaluators, I believe both were icebreakers. So I think it was just enough for one evaluator to read out the objectives. Perhaps the second evaluator could just announce the name of the path, just in the interest of saving time. Overall, I love this meeting. Always appreciate great quality, and I really enjoyed being the general evaluator here today. Happy to see quite a good attendance, most cameras on, and people being very, very passionate about their roles. So thank you for having me, and back to you, Toastmaster.
Thank you, General Evaluator, for wonderful evaluation from yourself and your team. Now we are at the end of our meeting, and I will request our president, DTM Nitesh, to come and close the meeting formally and make any business announcements that are required. Over to Toastmaster Nitesh.
I think he just left the meeting
Oh, he just
about
left.
2 minutes ago. Like 2 minutes ago, I think he left.
Okay, fine. So, do we have a VP head over here right now? Because you'd be the next officer in charge.
VPRD is not available today because he's in exams today, so he
Oh.
won't be available now.
Okay.
I'll take it up.
Please do.
Thanks to everyone. It was a great meeting. It's been a recurring situation for me, taking a multiple roles all the time. Yeah, fine. So it was a great meeting today. I request everyone to vote. Link is shared in the WhatsApp group. So please, I request everyone to take the vote. In meantime, I would like to get a feedback from our guest. Guest Padma Mohan, can you please give your feedback? You are mute.
Am I audible now?
Yes, you are audible now.
Okay, so it was a very interesting meeting, and I really liked a lot of aspects to start with. Vibrant Vaibhavi is how I call. I really liked the way she gave the speech and the way she took up in the initial stage. And I'm sure there's lots to learn from this club. And of course, there's a little for us to unlearn as well, which our Madam General Evaluator has already pointed out rightly. So keeping that in mind, I really enjoyed the meeting today. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. And our guest Manikanda, can you please give your feedback?
Yeah, I already attended 3 sessions as a guest. This is like now I have decided to join the club. So I already pinged you regarding that. It's a very good group of people. I'm missing Arun and Abhishek here, like who was good, doing the good jokes and all these things. So it's very nice to have.
Thank you. Thank you. They'll be back shortly. Next week they will be available. And we have Naga Mahesh, who has been with us for around. Naga Mahesh, where are you? Can you please come to the camera? Can you open the camera if possible?
I cannot come right now. Sorry for
Okay.
that, but I came to my hometown, Tirupati, right now.
Okay.
I'm in Tirupati.
Great.
Yeah.
Okay. Welcome back.
Yeah. Thank you, Dixon.
Thank you. Thank you. So voting is done, I think. Yeah. So I will announce the results.
Toastmaster Dixon.
Yep.
Sorry, I have an announcement to
Yeah,
make.
sure. Sure. Yes.
So I think some of you may have noticed that we had put up a poster regarding inviting people to submit their articles for the newsletter that the Hoodie Toastmasters Club is going to have. So I'd request you to at least send out your proposals or the themes on which you want to write the articles. In case you have any questions or you want to discuss it out, please feel free to discuss with either of Yaska, me, Nitesh, Arijit, or Vinayak. All right. Thank you.
That's great.
Thank you,
Thank you. Thank you. I request everyone be actively participate into this newsletter part. So when we are planning to release this newsletter?
So September is when we have to submit it, but we want to get the articles so that we are able to structure it and organize the newsletter. So at present, at least for the proposals, August 25th is what we are targeting the date.
Okay. Okay, great. That's fine. Thank you. Toastmaster Trilok. So we will go to the results now. The best speaker is, wow, it's 50-50. Both Icebreaker speakers are winners today. Congratulations to Toastmaster Manali and Toastmaster Srinivas. And best evaluator is Toastmaster Trilok. Congratulations. Best role taker is our DTM Nayanthara Malia. Congratulations. And best auxiliary role taker, Toastmaster Muskan, grammarian. Congratulations. And final one is our best table topic speaker, it was a tight competition, but still Toastmaster Vaibavi is the winner of today's table topics speaker. Congratulations to everyone. And that's the end of our meeting. And thanks to everyone be part of this meeting. And definitely next week onwards, we will start with in-person meeting. It was an emergency situation happened because of some electricity issues. So it was a last minute notification. So we could not do any other arrangements in the last minute. So definitely next week onwards, we will continue the hybrid mode. That's it from our end. We can continue. I will keep the meeting session open. We can have the networking sessions as well, since we have enough time for that. Thanks to everyone. The meeting is closed.
Thank you very much, everyone. Bye.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye. Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Thank
Everybody.
Thank you, everybody.
Pooja, I'm so sorry for that. We could not, we arranged yesterday, but we informed yesterday, but today morning I forgot to put the message again. Sorry for that.
Yeah, no, it's okay. I'm sitting right here.
Yeah,
Now
I
they
know.
can-
There's no problems, right? He told me that no one will be allowed in the building.
I tried to make them open, at least open the room for me. I'll sit. Then I was sitting outside, but they were discussing so loud, so I came here.
Okay, fine. Okay.
But we
Yeah.
should do something because this is not first time, this is the second time I missed to read. It means the problem is with me, I cannot read so many messages, scroll
Correct.
through.
We are getting
So
lots of messages. Correct.
yeah,
Yeah.
so whenever there's a this plan change, the places change in morning, one message that
Yeah,
today place
that's correct. Yeah,
and
that's
meeting ID and passcode should be there. Like again, I did not have Zoom, so I installed. So I lost at least 15 minutes there.
Yeah,
And
that's correct.
password was not
Sorry
there.
for
So
that.
I
We will
had
take care of that part because it's exceptional case. It happens once in a maybe once in a year, maybe. So, so I didn't notice it as well in that case. Sorry for that. And Abhishek Singh, please give your speech next week onwards if you are free.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. No worries. I
Yeah.
missed Mona Lisa's speech. I just joined it last. So I'm like, okay, I need to hear it again.
Thank you. Okay. Okay, fine.
Cool.
See you then.
Thank you, everyone.
And thank you.
Thank
Thank you, Toastmaster Monali. It was a great speech. See you then again. Bye.
Yeah, bye.